Astrid was eager to find someone who knew something about star metal, so she turned to the only person she knew who might know, Uruk. Star metal? Yes, I've heard of it, Uruk said. Never worked with it, though. That's a Sumerian skill. I will tell you what I have learned years ago, and that is that it is hard to find. You have to actually see the metal fall from the sky in a blaze of glory to know where to look. Then it's not that easy to harvest. Once you find it, you have to heat it up by putting oil on it and then set it to blaze. Once it cracks open, you have to use one of our finest pickaxes to harvest it. I can sell you one if you like, if that's what you're aiming to do. Yes, that's what I'm aiming to do. And thank you, Uruk. I will purchase one of your picks, Astrid said with a huge smile. Any one of these on the rack should do. And good luck, he grinned. And you can also get oil and fire orbs from any good alchemist. Astrid couldn't wait to tell Elsa. Elsa was spending the day recruiting skilled workers to help build their new home. Paying well was not a problem, but working in the snows might be. They would have to be exiles that were used to the cold like they were, and that might not be easy. She looked around for her, checking up and down each street. She finally found her. Elsa, Uruk knows how to get the star metal, and I have acquired all we need to do it. Now all we have to do is see them fall from the heavens, she exclaimed. Oh, is that all? Elsa chuckled. Well, while we wait, we can watch our new work crew build our new home. Astrid looked at her with wide eyes. Really, Elsa? That's incredible. When can they be ready? Most can leave within a few weeks. They have to have time to gather up their belongings and work tools. Oh, Elsa, she breathed. It's really going to happen. We must prepare for the move ourselves. Thor's not going to be happy about this. Well, he can always come with us, Elsa chuckled. His name was Alizar, and he had a single purpose and focus: to recapture the Shieldmaidens. He had been watching them for weeks now, and the window for opportunity was closing fast. The only way he could take these two was to follow the lead of their kin that sold them to him. Yes, he would befriend them and gain their trust. Then, when they least expected it, he would reclaim them and take them to the far east. There were pirates there who would pay anything for a pair of women as fine as these two. Yes, that plan would do nicely. He sent one of his men to seek out Astrid and tell her he wished to speak with her. He had an offer to make her, and if she was agreeable, to meet him behind the tavern later that day. Well, what do you think, Elsa? Shall we hear him out? I see no harm in it, Elsa said. He could be offering to help with our build. Well, that is a possibility, but I doubt it, Astrid replied. In any case, we should go see what he has to say. As he approached them, Elsa was immediately put off, but Astrid was intrigued. He was of average height, dark-skinned, and well-groomed, with an air of authority about him. He had an easy smile and greeted them warmly. Greetings, Shieldmaidens, he said as he bowed in a respectful gesture. Your reputation and prowess precedes you, and I am honored you have agreed to meet me. My name is Dakar, and I have a proposition for you. Our reputation does precede us, Dakar, and we have come at least to hear you out. What is this proposition? Astrid said, studying him closely. Elsa just folded her arms, already not liking this man. He looked directly at Astrid. I am a mercenary by trade, he began. I offer my services to anyone who can pay. I understand that you are building a new home to the north, which, as we all know, is very close to the Sumerian camps. I see many of our skilled laborers are willing to enter your employ, and they will need protection if the Cimmerians decide they do not like your choice of location. They are a brutal lot, but I have dealt with them before, and they will think twice if they know you are under my protection. As you say, our reputation does precede us. What makes you think we cannot defend our workers? Astrid replied, testing him. It is true, you are formidable, but the Cimmerians are many, and before you could take them out, many of your skilled workers would be killed, setting you back many months. I could handle them before they even reach your build site. Astrid eyed him closely. And just how many men strong are you? She inquired. I have many skilled sellswords at my disposal, so even though I have only a handful with me now, I can quickly assemble an army if there is any threat, he replied, returning her stare. Astrid shrewdly answered, Name your price, and Elsa and I will discuss this further and get back to you. That is all I can ask, he said, and once again he bowed. I shall wait for your answer. Well, what do you think, Elsa? Astrid asked after he left them. I don't like him, Astrid, but who would like a mercenary or sellsword? She chuckled. We will need protection if there's a problem with Cimmerians, though, and he's right about us not being able to handle it alone. I agree, Elsa. He makes me uneasy for the same reasons. Let me ask around about him, and if he is a reliable mercenary, I think we should take him up on it. Weeks passed, and their new home was well underway. Elsa had found some very skilled carpenters who were knowledgeable about the construction of longhouses and were eager for any embellishments the Shieldmaidens wanted. They wanted carvings to honor Ymir in the traditional Aesir way. They were Nordheimers, but leaned heavily towards the Aesir, and this is what they wanted their longhouse to reflect. It was to be a grand build, one that any clan could be proud of, a clan that everyone in these exile lands would come to know and respect. It's just like we envisioned, Elsa, Astrid exclaimed. The carvings are beautiful, and we shall add totems to the front entrance. As they walked inside, Astrid marveled at the sheer size of it. And down here, Elsa, is where we will sit as Jarls. We shall hear the complaints of our clan and greet our many guests and travelers. And here will be the grand hall, Elsa said, gesturing to the wide expanse of it. We will have grand tables laden with the finest foods, worthy of any warrior or guest. And let's not forget a tavern to keep our army of warriors happy during their time off. There will be music and laughter so loud even the god Ymir will smile, Astrid said, envisioning it all. Last but not least, Elsa, our sleeping quarters. I will be on the right, and you can be on the left. We will have the grandest and softest beds befitting any Jarl, Elsa added. While under their protection, we shall be lulled to sleep by the merriment of our warriors, Astrid chuckled. And as they headed outside, Astrid said to Elsa, And did you see this, Elsa? The workers were kind enough to build us this small cabin to live in until the build is ready. It has all the comforts of home. Plenty of room for both of us. This is all coming into reality, Elsa replied. It's more than I had hoped for, Astrid said. Look, Astrid, our little village grows. More are coming every day seeking work, Elsa said, as they looked down from the plateau. I hope they stay after the build is done, Astrid mused. I long for a large clan. There's so much room here, and we shall build guest houses and recruit trades of all kinds. Yes, we shall encourage large families, and the village will be filled with the laughter of children. They both fell silent as they imagined how life could be. One of the Shieldmaidens' most cherished times of the day was early morning. They would go atop the opposite plateau and watch the village come to life. Smoke would begin to rise from the houses, and women would be outside, starting the campfires to prepare the daily meals. Men would be gathering their tools and heading to the longhouse, ready for the day's work. Horses waited for their morning feed, and blacksmiths stoked their kilns. You could hear the sounds of hammers hitting metal and the chatter among the men. Astrid heard a large rumble. It got closer, and as she looked up, she could not believe her eyes. Elsa shouted in fear, "By the gods, Astrid! The heavens are falling!" Astrid watched the fiery globes hit the earth, and she turned to Elsa, stunned and in awe of its fiery brilliance. She could only say 2 words to Elsa: star metal. Fighting her instincts to flee, Elsa looked at Astrid. And Astrid said, "They fell behind those mountains, Elsa. We must find a way around and search for them." She was struggling with the feelings of pure awe and a certain amount of trepidation. Who knew what lay on the other side of that mountain, and what would be the chances of them finding the precious star metal? No matter. It had to be done. Heading down the path to the village, Astrid formed a plan to calm the frightened villagers. Maybe she could convince them that this was Ymir, raining down his might, warning all others not to threaten this newly formed clan. Yes, that just might work.